guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, September 3rd, and happy Labor Day. So we're going to be in the kitchen laboring today. I'm going to make a Hershey's Cocoa Chocolate Meringue Pie. So let's get started. Okay, so first we want to mix, it's 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to put it in my old saucepan here. And 1/3 cup Hershey's cocoa powder. And I will link the description below. Okay, and then I have 3 tablespoons cornstarch in this little container here. So I guess everybody is out enjoying the last holiday of the summer. And this will end our tourist season here on the Jersey Shore. So maybe I can find a parking spot now in front of my house. Since I live close to the beach, all of the tourists park in front of our home during the summer when they come to the beach. Okay, the next ingredient is 1/4 teaspoon salt. And then we just want to stir this up a little bit. And then to this mixture, we want to add 2 cups of milk. I don't know why this recipe doesn't call for butter, but I thought about putting butter in it anyway, but then I decided, well, maybe I shouldn't. You know, if the recipe doesn't call for it. Okay, so that's 2 cups of white milk. Okay, and what we want to do is cook this until it starts boiling and until it gets thick. Use my French whisk here that I bought from Williams-Sonoma. I love it. This is one kitchen utensil that I do love, kitchen gadget. And I will use my big old spoon too. Make sure I get it mixed up real good. So we kind of want to just cook this, and then we're going to add 3 egg yolks to this mixture. And what I did, I separated my egg yolks. I have my 3 egg yolks in here. I separated the whites, and I went ahead and beat the whites, and I put about 1/3 cup of sugar in here and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and this is going to be our meringue. And what we want to do is pour the chocolate mixture into your baked crust, which is I buy the Great Value pie crust, and you just put it in your glass pie plate or whatever kind of pie plate you have, and you want to cook it on 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. You got to make sure. I almost burned it, even though I had the timer set for 10 minutes. Because we have to also bake the meringue. So I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And by the time this cocoa mixture gets mixed up real good, then we'll spread the meringue on top. And then brown the meringue. I mean, what's better than a good old Hershey's Cocoa Chocolate Meringue Pie? So I think today's segment, I'll start with, it was actually the first nanny job that I had when I moved to New Jersey back in 2004. We're going to ride by that house one day, and I'll show y'all. It's in a very rich area, a beach town here. Oh, probably about 7 miles north from where I'm at here in Asbury Park. But my daughter was working at a hospital, and she was working with this physician there. And she just overheard him say that they couldn't keep a housekeeper. So I had been working in Pensacola, Florida for my Sunday school teacher. Her name was Sandra. And I'll tell y'all some stories about her one day. She was quite the character. But I had been cleaning her house, and then whenever I moved to New Jersey, I was looking for a job. So Jill told the doctor, you know, well, my mom is a housekeeper, and they also had 4 children, which they wanted a nanny for. You know, up here, if you're the nanny, you're the housekeeper, the cook, the grocery shopper, the laundry person, everything. You know, they don't have, if they're paying you money, they expect you to do everything. And so the salary was $100 a day. So I went to, we're going to call this doctor Corruption. Because he ended up being very corrupt and just barely escaped going to prison. So we're going to get into all those stories. But anyway, I went and interviewed for the job, and of course she hired me right on the spot. And she did tell me that she had gone through 13 housekeepers and nannies in 8 months. So I thought, oh Lord, I got my work cut out for me. But, you know, I had just moved up here, and Jill and I were living in a little studio, and I was sleeping, at first I was just sleeping on an air mattress on the floor in her living room. So I really needed to get a job and help out, and so that Jill and I could at least move into a 1-bedroom. So let me go stir my chocolate mixture here. So this is what it's looking like, y'all. Ooh, I almost scorched it. I better stop talking and get busy. I don't want a scorched chocolate pie, that's for sure. One of these days I'm going to go to Williams-Sonoma and buy me a nice all-clad saucepan. I love all-clad products. This is an all-clad spoon. But, you know, they're expensive, so that's going to have to wait for a little while. In a way, I'm kind of attached to my old saucepan. It's an old Tefal, T-F-A-L. I've probably had it 10 years, and I don't know why I get attached to this kind of stuff. It's like an old pair of shoes or something. You know, you don't want to, even though they're worn out and nasty and stink and everything, you just don't want to get rid of them and get attached to them, and I'm just attached to this old pot. I could take some stainless steel to it one day. So I think I will do that. Try to at least clean it up. But y'all don't mind. One of my sweet subscribers told me that he loves watching me cook in my little kitchen better than a big old fancy professional kitchen. So I hope y'all feel the same way. Oh, it's getting nice and thick. So what we want to do, I'm going to just kind of beat my egg yolks up a little bit. Let's go ahead and put the egg yolks in here. I believe it's almost ready. Yep, like I said, I almost scorched it. I've been trying to get my daughter to buy a set of that all-clad cookware. She, when they moved into their home 2 years ago, she bought this Rachel Ray cookware, and I told her I didn't like it. I didn't think it would be good for her, but that's what she wanted. It was a red or like a deep orange color, and so she wanted it, and of course, you know, 2 years now, it's already worn out and beat up, and so I'm hoping maybe next time she'll buy the all-clad, maybe from Williams-Sonoma or some other store that sells it. So this is getting pretty thick. Oh Lord, y'all, I didn't do a very good job separating the egg whites. Look at there, now I got egg white in my chocolate mixture. But anyway, this Dr. Corruption and his wife, when I went to work there, they had 2 boys and 2 girls. Now one boy was 16 and the other boy was 14, and the daughter was 11, and then they had a little adopted girl who was 6, and oh, she was a handful. Let me tell you, she had this real robust personality. But apparently her grandmother was a patient of the doctor, and so the grandmother had come into the doctor's office one day crying and upset because her niece was going to give this baby up for adoption. The niece wasn't able to take care of her. This isn't getting very thick. I don't know why. So Dr. Corruption and his wife decided to adopt this baby. She was just a few weeks old. Which I don't know why, because these were not good parents, in my opinion. I think they just did it for the notoriety. Try to make themselves look good to the people in the community and his patients. So, okay, so it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let's go ahead and put that in there. I'm just wondering if this recipe was right. 3 tablespoons cornstarch. What do y'all think? Just doesn't look very thick. I know pudding does thicken up when it does when it gets cold. So, but I do want to cook it another minute. So anyway, this family, now these children went to a very rich private school. We're going to take a ride by there one day too. It's a country day school. That's what they call all of these private rich schools up here. It has to have country in the title. Country day school. Some of the other students who attend that school or did attend it were John Bon Jovi's children and Bruce Springsteen's children. In fact, Bruce Springsteen's house is right across the street from the school. I did see him a couple of times when I was there to pick up the children. I did see him come out of his driveway one day driving an old muscle car. I think it was an old blue metallic Chevy Camaro. I never was able to get a look at John Bon Jovi. Now his daughter had a birthday party, and when she turned 12, and one day I was in the house cleaning, and the phone rang, and I answered it, and the lady on the other end said, "This is Dorothea Bon Jovi." Well, I knew who she was. I knew John Bon Jovi's name was Dorothea. So she told me that she was calling to invite the daughter, Dr. Corruption's daughter, to her daughter's birthday party, and she and a couple of the nannies were going to take the children by train into New York City to the IMAX theater for the little girl's birthday. So I told Dr. Corruption's wife, I said, Dorothea Bon Jovi called today, and she wants you to call her back. So they were teasing me about it that night at dinner, and about me getting to answer the phone and talk to John Bon Jovi's wife, and I said, yeah, it made my day, and Dr. Corruption said, well, it should have made your week. They were all about fame and fortune. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this pudding mixture in the pie crust, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope and pray that it gets thick. If it doesn't, then we'll just eat it like it's pudding. Okay, and then on top of this, we want to put our meringue. And y'all remember what I told you whenever you put your meringue on top of your pie, you have to seal the edges of it. Otherwise, it'll shrink when it's cooking. Y'all, I think I already know that this pudding ain't going to get thick. Oh, Lord, have mercy. What have I done here? Well, I know it called for 1/3 of a cup of cornstarch, but it should have been thicker. So if it still comes out